for something which I'll explain. The Bible, as you are aware of, some of you may not be aware, just quickly, is made out of 2 sections. It is 66 collection of 66 books written over a period of approximately 4,000 years. It's not one book, it's a collection of books. And the first half, that is the books of the Jews, it is mainly prophetic and written by prophets of various history in the life of the history of the Jews. And right from the first book onwards, there is sometime almost directly, but very often indirectly, reference to the cross. Now, why there is where does the cross come? Why the cross? I have not yet explained it. I'll try to come to the point. Basically, it's the gospel. It's the gospel, the news of salvation from sin. There the cross comes. Essentially, the Bible reveals to us that man is a sinner. Man is a sinner by nature. He inherited that from the days of Adam. I was born and brought up, and in my nature, I'm a sinner. And therefore, I sin. Sin by thought, sin by words, sin by behavior, and many things. It's the nature of man is sinner. And the Bible also says that the person who sins, he reaps death, a sentence of death. There is a spiritual death, there is natural death, etc. So there is a sentence of death on every human being on this earth because of sin. Because sin is offensive to God, and therefore man and God cannot fellowship together, cannot come together because of that enemy sin between them. And now what happened is, this sin is so grievous and so serious and so great that whatever I do to pay for the cost of the sin, to get rid of it, it is too small, not good enough to wipe sin from my life. See, if I give charity to the poor, it is very nice, that's a beautiful thing, the Bible recommends to do that, but it is not big enough to wipe sin from my life. As far as it's a good act, it is a good act, but not good enough to wipe sin from my life. Okay? Now, God sent Jesus, a perfect man, a man without sin, a man would prefer to suffer rather than sin, an exception, a person who sin did not enter him. He was tempted in every way, but yet he did not sin. Therefore, the sentence of death does not belong to him, as it belongs to all of us. He deserved to live forever. That was the quality of Jesus from the spiritual point of view. From the point of view as man, he walked as man on earth, like anybody else. He had to work for his bread and many different things like anybody else. But from the spiritual point of view, he was not worthy of death, because sin did not succeed going into him. Okay? So in that sense, he was a perfect man. Now this Jesus obeyed God to the point of being wrongly sentenced to the death of a sinner. Okay? So therefore, satisfying the justice of God, that death is the price for sin. A perfect man who don't deserve to be dead, who don't deserve to taste for death, and he was willing to die on behalf of others, paying the price of sin. Therefore, the cost he's paying is worthy to wipe away sins. See, the sacrifices which everybody does and trying to remove sin from their life is not successful in removing sin. But Jesus, because of his value of being sinless, because of his value of obeying God till the end, therefore the sacrifice he offered was acceptable to God as the cost for sin. And that is why